Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Unconventional Outdoorsman. Happy Saturday. I hope y'all are having a great Memorial Day weekend. I'm filming this on Friday, but filming it early for you. A lot of guys and gals and outdoorsmen and women might be out on the lake or the river this weekend doing some fishing, maybe do a catch and cook. So there is something you will need if you're going to be keeping any fish to be cooking, cleaning, and eating. So it's going to be a fillet knife. Now I've got a J Martini M Finland here. It's a basic. You can pick these up at like Bass Pro and stuff. Pretty basic knife, fillet knife. I'll show it to you. I haven't used this one in a while. Probably have to clean it, sharpen it up. But I've been using these fillet knives, and my family has been for years. They're very good quality. I like having a nice wood handle. That's something that is very important with a fillet knife, is the type of handle. Now I like what J Martini does with this, or it's actually Rapella who makes this, but it says J Martini Finland, so whatever. It's a nice carved wood handle, which I appreciate in any tool, whether it be hunting, fishing, hiking, or whatever. A nice hand-carved, man-made, something that people take time with to make and put love and care into. And so that feels really good. It's got some nice polish on it. You can get a good grip on it. It's got a nice little curve right there. Put your index finger there. Because when you're cutting up fish and cleaning them, gutting them, everything like that, you definitely want a good grip, because if your hand slips off the knife and goes onto that blade, it's going to be a bad day for you. And it's going to suck if it's on Memorial Day itself and you cut your hand open, you got to go to the ER. So that's something that's important. I would recommend, if you're going to be cleaning fish, especially crappie, catfish, get a nice set of cleaning gloves. They're very inexpensive. You can pick them up at Walmart for I think $15 or under. But that'll help you, especially even if you do slip a little bit. I know when I posted the video about when I went to the White River to do some camping and I trout fish, we were cleaning the trout down by the river, and I literally cut my finger open and had to wrap it up right down there by the river, and believe me, it's not fun. So a good grip is something you definitely want. Something that can go through the elements. Now this is wood. Wood does expand and contract with different weather, hot and cold, and water can affect it. But the good thing about this one, it has a nice little coating on a waterproof coating, because of course you're going to need that on a fillet knife. So I think this is a 6-inch blade. I prefer anywhere from a 6 to 8-inch blade. I've found if you get anything less than that, it's going to be very inconvenient, because even if it's a bluegill or a decent sized crappie, you definitely want that blade to be able to get in there and just have an effective cut. You want to be able to get the whole fillet and get as much meat off the fish as you can. And I like this Rapella one. I think this is Rapella that makes it. Yeah. Their blades can keep a good sharpen. That's something I do appreciate about a nice fillet knife, because it sucks if you catch or clean like 2 or 3 fish and then you got to sharpen the whole dang thing again. Which, hey, you should be sharpening your knives regularly anyways if you care about them and you want them to stay in good condition, because there's nothing worse when you're cooking, cleaning, or anything with a fish than a dull knife. That's how accidents happen. You definitely don't want that. So it's a very quality blade, very sharp, keeps a good sharpen. It's very sturdy metal. Now, of course, I would recommend, if you're going to get a fillet knife, if you're an avid outdoorsman, if you catch a lot of fish, I would recommend don't go the cheap route. I picked up, actually, because I couldn't find this. We're still moving some stuff around the house, and I found this recently in one of my bags, one of my fishing bags from a while back. I picked up a $5 fillet knife, and literally it lost its sharpen within 10 minutes of cleaning fish. I caught some crappie the other day, which I'll be making a catch and cook about that. But definitely having a nice enough blade that will keep sturdy enough, because you don't want to get bent or whatever. For example, this is a nice holster, but for example, say you have a bad holster and it falls on the seat, or somebody sits on the holster. If it's a very thin holster, it'll cut through and stab the person, which you don't want, but it'll bend the blade too. So you want the blade to be just thick enough that it won't be able to bend super easy, which this one has done that. I've had this one since 2014, I think, 2015, around there. So I've cleaned plenty of fish with it. But that's the knife itself. Now, me personally, when I go on like a nice fishing trip or something, I'll always carry my fillet knife on me, especially if I'm going trout fishing at like Montauk, which is a trout park here in Missouri, or down to the White River in Arkansas. Those are some of my favorite places to go. A nice holster, scabbard, sheath, whatever you want to call it, is going to be very effective. This one is leather. It's really nice. You do have to take care of it, wipe the water off. You can put leather conditioner on it if you want, but most times you're not going to be using this. I think I use this or carry it on me about a week and a half out of the whole year. So that's good. I do like about this leather too, it's strong enough, it's got a liner in there, so that if you sit on it or whatever, it won't be able to stab through and cut you, which is very good. It's thick leather, comes down here, that way it can brush off your leg, and it doesn't, like, you know, certain knife scabbards, they'll like go into your leg if you're walking on them, or you get an awkward angle, and it won't cut you necessarily, but it'll just be awkward. This one has that little flare on the end that'll keep you from doing that. But I like having a nice big belt loop for my knives when I carry them on my belt, because a small one just, I don't know, it's just something I don't like. It's got a nice little triangle thing, kind of like a swivel almost. And it'll kind of dangle off your hip, because it's a fairly light knife. It'll just dangle off your hip. But it's not bad, you hardly even notice it's there. It does, with that little liner down at the bottom that holds the knife, it creates a little bit of suction, I think. And it's a good thing, because the knife won't fall out on its own unless you're running like Usain Bolt down the trail to go catch a trout. But it's very nice. Something too, with certain leather holsters, the stitching may not be very good, but that's something I have noticed about this Rapella J. Martini Finland, whatever the brand name is on this. The stitching has stayed intact on every single fishing trip I've been on. I haven't had a single problem with it. I know I've had that with tons of cloth holsters for knives and pistols. You don't want that. That is something like if you're going to go buy this, and for example, it's at a store, it's out of the packaging, or like in a pawn shop, do inspect that. If it's coming apart, I would probably pass, or you can get the knife and just pick up a new sheath. But yeah, so those are all the qualities that I like of it. Something too, I've had this for 5 years. I do take care of it quite well. If you, for example, say you're busy after you get home from a fishing trip or camping trip and you forget to clean it. If your knife literally starts to rust after like that first trip, it's time to throw it away and get a new one. I had a fillet knife that did actually that $5 one I picked up. I found it and had rust all over it. So definitely invest in a good blade. This is a good one. I'm not sponsored by Rapella or anything. It's just I'm giving you my honest opinion. This one will run you about $35, which is pretty decent. You probably don't need anything better than that unless you're catching dozens of fish and cleaning them every day, which I don't see why you would be. But yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. I won't be posting a video on Sunday. I'm going to be taking the day for myself. Actually, I might post a video. We'll see how it goes. But there's about an 80% chance that if you watch these videos, you are not subscribed. So please do me a big old favor and go down there, hit that subscribe button, and click that notification bell to all notifications. That way you know every time I post a video on this channel. Have a wonderful Saturday. See you next time.